So welcome everybody. My name is Liesel Erasmus. I am the Creative and Content Director for Upskill Academy. So I am the person that builds all the courses and puts them all together and makes sure that the team does a great job with that. So today we are going to discuss the 5 reasons of why online learning is the future for your company. Good morning, Shamlin, as if you are from Petroleum Gas Association for South Africa. Hello, CC, welcome. And yes, then afterwards we are going to have a Q&A section. So if there is any questions that you have during the sessions, if there's something specific you want to ask, you are more than welcome to type your question into the chat box and we will address it in the Q&A later. I'm just going to stop my video and share my screen with you quickly. Okay, can all of you see my screen? Okay, good. Okay, good. Thank you. Okay, so corporate training often has a stigma of coming across as boring and messy. Long classroom sessions, endless tests, and pages of content are what many associate with corporate training. But changes in technology and the approach can offer solutions that are both engaging for employees and more efficient for employers. Thanks to the digital transformations we have all seen over the past few years, more businesses are moving their training online to meet the needs of the modern learner. Okay, so the Fosway Group, that is an American company, recently surveyed learning and development professionals and found that around 94% report to having to change their L&D, learning and development strategies, in response to the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, if we look at the one section of the report here on the left-hand side, there has been a major swing into digital learning. All areas of digital learning have been more likely to increase. That is led by digital learning content. Okay. Now, the demand for learning from senior stakeholders has increased by 82%, and 71% have experienced an increased demand for digital learning from end users. Now, I will share this infographic on the event page after the webinar because there is some more information on there that is quite interesting. Now, the pandemic is not the only reason you should move your training online. There are many benefits. So we are going to take a look at a couple of them and let's see what some of them are. Okay, so the first one, and obviously also the most important one, is to recognize the modern learner. Technology has enabled modern learners to self-direct their learning by providing instant knowledge and know-how. The web is becoming more used as a means of finding instant information, with more than 70% of employees turning to search engines to learn what they need to know for their jobs. But with this, there is still a huge gap in here, because search engines can't deliver resources that are unique and context-specific to your organization. Now, recognizing the modern learner is especially important with training because of the risk associated with employees not keeping up to date. Not keeping up to date, obviously with the rules and regulations of the organization. Now, failing to understand the motivations of your staff and not addressing their actual problems and experiences leads to poor engagement and overall negative attitude towards training. Now, this could lead to many more problems further down the road. Employees need to be able to learn in real time whilst on the job to quickly go from not knowing how to do something to doing it. By understanding the habits and the needs of the modern learner, you should focus your efforts on creating a training program that addresses the way different employees should be thinking about doing their jobs. Now, the next benefit is to deliver useful information anywhere at any time. Now, employees are busy and taking them away from their working environment to do their training limits how often you can provide training. By moving your training online, you're able to provide training anytime and anywhere, giving you the confidence in knowing your employees can easily ensure that they are up to date. Now, if you think about the kinds of content your employees would benefit from, generic off-the-shelf content has been proven to be far less effective and engaging than context-driven digital resources. You can use your online learning platform to easily deliver interesting and effective training resources to a specific audience while tapping into their job roles and motivations for learning at work. So you can really focus exactly on the different types of job levels within your company and provide courses for your entry-level job person as well for your senior or your advanced, and speak directly to that group. So it's not the same training that you're going to offer for each and every single person, no matter what level they are at. You can actually design it to be at every single separate level. Now, the third benefit, and probably the most important reason to keep everyone up to date without worrying about the cost. Now, it's understandable to assume that creating learning content online will be extremely time-consuming and difficult to do. However, there are solutions available to make it easier than ever to create useful content that addresses your workers' real-time challenges. As your practices and policies change, so can your resources. Moving your training online allows the organization to easily keep employees up to date and able to quickly receive the correct information. No more waiting around for updated handbooks or keeping employees out of the loop. It also ensures that everybody within the company is on the same page. You need to remember that with training, consistency is key. Also, being time-consuming to implement, traditional learning approaches such as classroom-based training or courses can also prove to be costly. Online training eliminates the need for paperwork, travel costs, classroom rental, and I think that the most expensive of that is the fact that your employee is away from their job and cannot fulfill their duties for that 1, 2, or 3 day course that they have to attend, which also then affects your productivity to your customers. It also brings learning to where the employees are and eliminates the need for additional costs. So your employees will be able to do the training as and when they have time available, which is crucial because our time is very limited when we are at the office. Okay, so the next benefit is to improve engagement with your employees. Now, you'll find that moving your training online is going to be far more effective and engaging than traditional methods if it provides value and relevance to your employees. Remember that with online training, employees can take control of their learning. They can learn at a pace that suits them and access your learning materials anytime, and any place. By ensuring your resources are valuable to them, you'll find that they are far more likely to engage and take interest in your training. You also need to engage with coaching. Now, platforms available today also allow for live coach or facilitators should there be a requirement for that to explain difficult concepts and topics to employees. Now, I think within our companies, we might have somebody that, that has all the experience in certain topics for employees that can also take time out to coach your employees and just add more value to your employees at the end of the day. Now, the last benefit we're going to cover is measuring in real time. Online learning platforms also makes it easier than ever to track performance and understand what it is or what isn't working. You can use reporting to your advantage, from tracking different employee levels to departments or progress with tests. By having this data online, you will be able to track in real time, and no valuable insights will be missed. Now, having your reports easily accessible and available in one central place will also greatly free up the amount of admin your L&D or learning and development teams spend having to manually test and generate reports. No valuable data will be lost, and instead the focus can be shifted onto using these insights to continuously improve your training materials. Your employees want to be better and faster at their jobs. Whilst training is not the most enjoyable or fun program, you can use our tips above to create an online program that will make a difference and ensure your staff is always up to date. Now, if you are operating a business on a small or large or fast-growing scale, nationally or internationally, moving your training online allows you to push out updates, policy changes, and new training modules instantly. Not only this, but proving your organization's compliance is becoming more and more important. For example, when POPI came into place earlier this year, having your compliance training online would have meant that everyone who worked across your business, regardless of the position or location that they work at, would have received access to updated company-wide standards training. Now, just looking at POPI, that is extremely important. If you just look at the POPI Act, that every single person within your company understands what POPI is about. And with online training, it definitely makes it so much more easier to offer that training for every single employee, from your security guard at the gate and up until your highest seniority level. So not only is this a great from a legal perspective, but it would also have saved your team huge amounts of time and money on face-to-face training and logistics. Especially with COVID-19, not everybody is back at the office already, so it would have definitely made it so much more easier. Okay, now that we have looked at some of the benefits of moving your training online, we want to open the discussion of how Upskill Academy, how we can assist you in the process if you want to do it. Now, we have a uniquely collaborative approach. We offer a simple, cost-effective solution to move your internal training online and provide you access to a collaborative and ever-expanding e-learning library of courses we have already developed and some we are still developing, covering a variety of topics that will always be in demand. Now, this includes, but is not limited to, onboarding and orientation training, compliance training, governance training, basic skills training, soft skills training, job-specific skills training, and product knowledge training. So Upskill Academy, me and my team, we create and host your online academy that looks and feels like you. And it makes the customization painless. Our focus is on easy to use features and fewer tech headaches. So we set up, develop, and host everything for you. We are a tight-knit group of curious creatures, always learning and constantly seeking out new perspectives and ideas. Engage your students with quizzes and course completion certificates, and ensure transformation with course compliance controls that require course completion to move on. We take your business seriously. We know it is a big step to put your passion into our hands. So anytime you hear unlimited in life, it is pretty exciting. So let's just say unlimited video bandwidth, unlimited courses. You can add as many courses as you want to your course library. And any courses that you want to add from our library to yours will be branded with your brand, and we will be able to add information to any specific course specifically relating to your industry or to your company. So if you, let's just say, for example, if you look at the POPI Act, we can add modules to the POPI Act that relate specifically to your own internal policies and procedures that you have implemented within the company to protect you against POPI. So we don't limit the courses, but we also can, the courses that we offer you as part of our library, you can take that and make that your own by branding it for you and adding any information that you want to add to it. Then unlimited modules. You are in control of how many modules each course contains and the length of each module. So that is completely up to you, and we will obviously assist you with that process. Unlimited video and questionnaires. Again, you are in control of how many videos each module contains. You can add competency questionnaires pre and post modules to assess the progress of each employee. So this is also up to you, and we don't limit you at all. Then unlimited students. All your employees will be able to access any one of your courses at any time via mobile, laptop, or any smart device. So we don't limit the amount of students that can access the system at any given time, which is a great added benefit, meaning that you will be able to train every single person within your company relevant onto or regarding any specific topic or course that you want to. Then our platform also, you will have access on your platform, you will have access to an individual and group coaching forum where milestones can be created at a group or individual level. Milestones can be videos, activities, questionnaires. You can also, as a milestone, create a Zoom meeting. So it really assists you as a person. If you are onboarding a couple of people at one time, you can actually use the coaching platform to train all your onboarders at one time with all your, and to coach them with any questions that they have. Then some of the other features includes advanced reporting, course completion certificates, tracking student progress, access to our whole development team, different types of training videos. All of that is basically some of the features that you can actually that you will actually have access to. So how does our model work and what are the fees? It's actually very simple. We have a once-off setup and monthly retainer-based fee that boils down to roughly 100 Rand per employee per month for our South African clients, and our international clients about $10 per employee per month. So the more courses you add, the lower the cost per course and per employee becomes. Ultimately, your library will cover topics that range from time management to time to retire and everything in between, so that your employee knowledge is always relevant and current. Now, if you have a course that you want to be developed, we can certainly take a look at it and provide you with a quotation. Or if we develop the course for the whole community and add it to the library, we will then absorb the development cost so that every one of our clients can benefit. But we can talk about this more in our Q&A section. Now, I'm sure that we will have a solution for whatever your need may be. We are here to serve you. And that is what I want to discuss with you today. So I'm going to stop my screen share and put my video on and ask if any one of you have any specific questions that you want to ask me.
Yes, I'd like to know, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
I'd like to know, how do you get the company to absorb online training like you sell in? Because I'd like to know, that's number one. And who are you pitching at? Because if you go and pitch at the trainer, or as you know, training falls under the HR.
Yes.
They will pick holes into this because it sees them, the trainer, is not doing a good job. Obviously, as you said, you can do tests, and I know about the stuff. It's a brilliant system. But how do you pitch this to get management to do it? Because you go to an HR trainer and she looks at it, yeah, she says it's brilliant. She doesn't come back to you. She'll try it and she'll start picking holes in it because it starts exposing the weaknesses within a company. So how do you approach it to get to the top? Because let's face it, management don't get involved in training. At the top, the CEO, not that he doesn't want to, but the culture in this country is that the top doesn't get involved in training and it's left at a lower level. Would you agree with me?
No, I agree with you. Look, I think once you can prove to an HR manager or to a trainer, and you can, have them test the e-learning platform. In South Africa specifically, we are not used to e-learning. We keep on being stuck to our ways as classroom-based training. But we recently had a company that they normally do also classroom training, or they offer training via Zoom or Teams now with COVID. And they did the POPIA training through us. And, the HR manager was also very reluctant and wanted to test our training before actually enrolling all the employees into the course. And we are currently in discussions in building their own online academy for them. Once they test the system and they actually have some employees participate in it, it's an easy sell or an easy thing to motivate to companies to do. Because once you prove and can show them the actual benefits and how it is going to help them to plug that holes and the problems within the company, once they see the benefits of that, it is actually easy to get that within the company. It will make your HR teams work so much more easier. And with the e-learning system, we don't take their work away. I think that is a big concern for the trainers as well, is that they feel that the online system will actually remove their work, but it doesn't.
Correct.
They still have a role to play within that, within the e-learning system. So, the e-learning system won't replace them. It will just make their work a lot easier, but it doesn't replace them. There is still a certain amount of interaction that would be required from them within this whole process. They still need to identify the training that is required. It's not something that can just appear on a platform. That human interaction still needs to be there. Does that answer your question, Alan?
Yeah, it does. It's just I'm just keen to see. Do you make this compulsory for every division or every department must do it, or do you say no? It's optional.
How do you mean? Once you implement it within a company?
Well, when a company implements it, let's say it's the sales department, you launching a new product. Do the company, do you agree, or how do you see that everybody in that sales department must use upskill to get the knowledge?
Look, once we implement it into the company, it won't be upskill. It will be your own your company's.
I accept. Okay, well, Timbuktu company.
Yes, so it will be your own company, and it will be up to the company and what their requirement is. You can, as a company, you can decide and say that yes, you want, depending on the actual course. If it's a requirement, for example, if you take again, and now I'm referring to Poppy a lot, but if you look at Poppy, that is something, it's compliance training. It is something that all of your employees that have access to personal information need to understand. So yes, I would say certain courses you can make compulsory, but that all depends on the company. And certain courses you can have as a add-on or a benefit to a company.
Okay.
Joy.
So who do you pitch at? The trainer and the HR, or do you go above them?
We try to include both of them.
So you try to get the CEO involved?
Yes. Because the value is just, if you can prove the value to both parties. Like I said, online e-learning is not trying to replace HR. It's not trying to replace the specific trainer's role within the company. It's there to assist them, and to actually, especially if we look at the new normal that we have at the moment with COVID, it's with the levels, it's very difficult for a company to now get 40 people together in a room and offer them training, at the same time. Where e-learning will really help the HR with saying that, okay, we can't get 40 people into a room, but you can now access the training anytime, anywhere, and fit it in. I know what a lot of companies does, or what some of our schools do, is they give the people a deadline and they say, you have to do this training within the next month, and then they follow up and they make sure and do the reporting to see who has done the training and who hasn't done the training.
And how long have you been on the market?
We've been doing this for about 2 years now.
2 years, okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure. Any other questions?
No, thank you so much. It was quite interesting. Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure, Fanny.
Just lastly, seeing there's no other questions, is how many clients, just you don't have to tell me, how many clients do you have on board?
We've got about, I'm going to say about between 10 and 15 schools that we manage at the moment.
So you've really targeted the school market?
No, what I mean with schools is with companies, their own schools that we manage for them. We just call it a school because it's a, how can I say, company academies, if you can put it that way.
Okay, so you've got about 10, 15 of the companies on at the moment. Well, that's good. And has it been a hard slog?
It's actually been easier with, with COVID and everybody everybody not being able to do classroom training and to offer that. We've seen it's been easier to get companies on board because, especially once we actually show them the value of the actual system and the features and the what they can do with the system, all the features that they have, it's not that difficult to get somebody on board with it. Yes.
And the exams, when you, let's say your exam,
Yes.
how do you do it? Is it online when they write the exams? Is it like what type of questions do you ask in the exam, or to
Yeah, so your questions for whatever course, you can build your own questions, and you can actually have the questions graded as well. So it is an online questionnaire that somebody has to do, and it's a multiple answer questionnaire that they would have to do, but you can grade it to say that they need a specific percentage to pass that questionnaire. So if they do fail it, they will then have to re-watch the module and retake the questionnaire. So the system has some great measures in place. For example, when we look at a module or a video that needs to be watched, a training video, you can set exactly how what the percentage of the video must be watched before somebody can continue. For example, we would say, most of our courses, we say 95% of the video has to be watched. Otherwise, the system will block the person from continuing on. So the system has great measures in place to make sure that an employee actually does the training and that they pass the exams. It's not e-learning, it's very interactive. It's not e-learning where somebody goes and watch a video and says they trained, or they can say, okay, no, but we've watched it. On the back end of the system, part of the reporting, we can tell you how many times an employee has watched a specific course, how many times they did the questionnaire, what the percentage is of the questionnaire. So if an employee does say, but they can't advance to the next level, we can actually show you, or you will be actually to prove to them, but I see you've only watched 10% of the video, so how can you continue on? So it's an absolute fantastic system for companies to use, because you can actually see exactly what each person is doing per course, per module, and how they are progressing on each level.
And is it only multiple choice, or is it some other type of questions as well?
We mainly use multiple choice, but you can put other questions in as well.
Okay.
Yes.
No.
I see I've got a question here from Shamilin. How does practical work and application of this knowledge get done and measure via online training? So practical work, we normally do the practical work as part of a coaching session. And there you can actually, on the coaching session, you can do whatever you want with the employee, and that you can do on a group level or per employee level. So say, for example, you have an employee that struggles with time management, you can have them do the time management course. And then after that, as an HR manager or a trainer, you can actually set up a coaching session with them and do the practical work and practical activities with them on a one-on-one basis to make sure that they apply what they've learned specifically to their job role. So coaching also forms a very big part of the school and the interaction between what the person has learned and their job role as well. That's why I say the system doesn't really replace HR. It assists them by making it more easy to actually implement the training and the courses with the employees and give them that individual attention should an employee need that. Does that answer your questions, Shamilin?
Yes, I'm just typing another message to you in the chat box, but thank you so much.
Not a problem. Any other questions?
So with the Poppy Act, I mean, you mentioned you've got half a dozen clients, whatever. Why the reluctance to get, I mean, you should have 100, 2,000 people on with the Poppy Act, because your system copes for it, but you've got a dozen people on the Poppy Act. You've got a dozen clients.
No. We have a dozen clients that we run and host their schools for them, but we have a lot more clients doing the Poppy. We don't only have a dozen clients, we have a lot more clients that have just purchased the Poppy training through us. I can mention one of them because I have their permission to use their name. The other clients haven't given me the permission because of Poppy. I cannot use their name. But Mustec is one of the companies where all their managers and supervisors and directors, all of them have done the Poppy training on the Upskill Academy platform.
Oh, great. Okay.
Yes. So we don't only have the 12 clients are clients that we specifically host schools for. So we've taken their internal training and we are hosting that on their own platform and on their own school. But we have a lot more clients that actually just purchases the courses on our own platform.
And are you totally local company?
Yes, we're completely local. We've got we can do animation, we can do video, we've got our own voiceover artists. So we are even looking at, or we are currently developing some of our courses in Zulu and Xhosa as well, because we've seen that there's a big demand for specific courses in other languages, in some of our African languages, because people only, most training is only available in English. So we are also at the moment translating some of our courses into Zulu and Xhosa and other languages to make sure that we cater for people in other languages as well. Okay, I've got another question from Sharmilan. Our industry is very hands-on as we train candidates to qualify as LPG installers. Using tools, connecting gas to appliances, practical is seen more as face-to-face as opposed to online. Do you offer any type of hybrid training, theory and practical offerings? Yes, Sharmilan, there I would say we can develop. We actually have had this discussion for people that specifically need to install something. We can develop practical videos for you exactly to show somebody how to install something. But again, the theory and practical offerings can be built into a course, and you can also make coaching as part of that training to ensure that exactly every single person knows how to install a specific device. But we can assist you with that whole process, and we can do training for that whole practical session as well. Does that answer?
So you develop, just by listening what you've answered now, so you develop your own courses, understand? If somebody there's a need, then you get the expert, develop those courses for them.
Yes.
Okay.
So we do the research, we do the development, specifically, if whatever the requirement is for the client, whether it's animation or video, or, if it's specific product knowledge of how to install something or how to use a specific product, we work with the client to develop all of that, those courses and that material. And we then load it onto the platform for them. So we don't just, what we do when we talk about our collaborative library, what we do is there's certain type of courses, say for example, ethics and fraud training. That is something that a lot of companies basically require. So certain courses, if we build them for a specific client, we debrand them and we have them as part of the course library. Which you can then say, listen, I want this course on my school because I also need to train my employees in ethics and fraud training. And we will then brand that specific course with your school's branding and add any additional personalized things to your company that you want added. And we will load that onto your platform. If it is a specific to your company course that you need to develop, we can do that for you. If you have the content already, you can provide us with if it's classroom content, you can provide us with that, and we will then develop the actual online e-learning component of it, whether it's videos or activities or whatever you need developed.
And another important question, is it registered? Are you registered to get all the deductions with, is it Mesita and all those things that you can claim?
We are currently busy with a couple of our courses to get the registration of our own developed courses, but so we are busy with that process. It does unfortunately take, with South African government, it takes a bit of time to get those accreditations. But yes, we are accrediting most of our courses. Will be, if we look at the art-specific courses, we are getting the TITA, the transport industry TITA, for that, and then the other courses like the POPI, we are applying for the CETAs. So we will, our courses will mostly be CETA or TITA accredited, depending on what type of course it is. But yes, so we don't have the accreditation now, but we will have it definitely before the end of this year. Most of our courses will be accredited.
Thank you.
Pleasure. Any other questions?
So where are you based?
We are based in Paarl in the Western Cape.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Yes. Okay, there doesn't seem to be any other questions. Just one more check. Fanny, do you have any further questions?
No, I just want to say thank you and good luck. Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure. What I will do after this, I will send you just a link to the replay if you want to watch it again, and just my information as well. If you are interested in any of our courses, or if you are interested in, if you want us to maybe, assist you with moving your school online or your internal learning. Sorry, I keep on referring to school, but your internal learning online. Yes, I will send that information through, and you are more than welcome to contact me afterwards.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your time. Have a good day.